Hi, let's continue on the under the nose part, which I want to say something before we continue. Please understand that if you are loyal to the shapes and you're loyal to the layers, no matter how much you feel it's not working, if you're loyal to the colors, you're loyal to the shapes, you're using layer masks in the proper way, you're using layers in the proper way, there really is no chance for you to fail. You just have to get past that 70% completion stage, and this is a perfect example of it. So let's continue. I want to do the first level dark. I've saved 2 different level darks, and I'll probably have a third one. But if you look at the foreground color here, there's my first level dark. Here is my second level dark, right in the foreground color. So I'm going to go with the first level dark, and it may need a little bit of black to enrich it as a transparent black on top, but I'll let the file decide what it's going to do. So I'm going to immediately add a Shift F6, about a 5 pixel feather or a 4 pixel feather in there. I'll leave it at 5. And I'm going to hit Command H. And I'm going to let the clicky copy determine how far to go with it. So I'm going to hit the B key. I'm going to make the brush larger, and I'm going to just work my way from this side of the nose to that side of the nose, laying in, I'm pointing to it, the first level dark, then I'll go to the second level dark, which is 2 stages. It's in the nostril and below the nose. So I'm just going to get smaller as the shapes grow more. So again, if you don't believe it, all you have to do is, meaning if you can't, I didn't mean that statement, but if you're just trust it, is what I'm trying to say, okay? So you can see that I'm starting to get that level dark, okay? I'm starting to push it. Now, in the cleft, it's going to even need an extra level dark, so that'll be something I approach. And this final level dark is going to have a little bit of black in it, all right? So now I'm going to turn on the clicky copy, and I obviously see that underneath this nose in this area, eventually in a little while, I'm going to need to increase that dark. But I'm not looking where I'm pointing here, I'm looking here. Okay, so let's just continue because this is the area that we are working in. So I'm going to make the brush bigger. I'm going to just come down through here and come down through here a little bit. Then I'm going to just alter the color a little bit on this side, and I'm going to come down through here with it. Now, let's look and see what I have. Let's come from this point right here and now swing it back this way, and I'm just going to see that I'm starting to get the feel of what it's supposed to be. Okay, now I'm probably not even far enough with it, and I'm only on the nose area 3. I created 2 more layers for what I need to do. So I'm going to continue, and I'm going to get slightly smaller with the brush as I work my way through here. And I'm going to paint what I see where I see. So I'm going to paint a little bit more right there. I'm going to go to this level dark, and I'm going to start to put in this level dark from that place down. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put in this level dark without changing layers. I'm okay because I haven't done very much, that if I had to start over on this, I'd be okay, which I don't, meaning on this stage. So you can see how I'm starting to lay in the amount of darks that I need, and I'm going right from there. So let me just make it larger, meaning my brush and my selection. Now let me see if I'm doing a good job right here. Okay, where right here is right in that area. Let me put the clicky copy on. Right here is where I'm looking at right there, not that dark and not that dark. So let me go a little farther than I need, meaning here and here I'm going to go a little farther than I need. Right there and right there. And I'm actually going to bring it down even a little bit farther like this. Now let me deselect the selection, add a layer mask to it, and let's remove it from where I think it should be removed, which is going to be here, just a little bit here. That was too many clicks. So let me just remove it just a little bit, and you can see what I've done there. And now a little bit wider. In fact, let me click this so I actually bring it out a little wider right there. Okay, and then a little right there. Now let's go see how I'm refining that, which is beautiful. And now I'm starting to get the feel of how that looks. Okay, I went a little too far with it here, so I'm going to hit the X key, make my brush a little bit bigger, and put it back in. So see how simple, see how non-destructive that is? It's pretty incredible on how non-destructive that is, to tell you the truth. And let's come in like this. Let's just put it back like that. Let's come in like this, making sure I'm taking stuff away. So, no, X is going to take it away. So I want to take away a little bit more over here, there. And now I'm going to click the clicky copy back. And then let's start to lay in. I don't want, I didn't finish my sentence, I'm sorry. I don't want this hard line right there and maybe even over there. I don't want that hard line where I have it here and here. So I'm going to kind of remove the hard line from that area. So I deselect the selection. I make sure that I'm going to come in like this, and I'm going to click the nostril area like this. No, I'm sorry, it's the nose that I had up here. Okay, so I want to see where that is supposed to be. Okay, I see where I am here. I don't want that hard line both there and there. So I'm going to kind of take it away from here. So, which is right there. So let me turn off the path. Let's remove it from here and remove it from here. Now, let me see what I've done. I want to take it away so there's no hard line there and there's no hard line right there. Now, I'll come back and fix that in a little while. Okay, now let me hit the X key, and I want to just make the brush slightly bigger and put that back in here. So, okay, now let me hit the X key again, and let me come back like this. Now, I'm starting to get the feel of what I want. Again, I'm not working on the top of the nose, I'm working on the bottom of the nose. So let's go to nose area 4. Let's now get closer, and let's start to put in this this little dark that's right there, and I'm going to have to go over top of it with a little bit of blue black or black to really inset that in. But let's make sure the nostrils look good. So again, I'm only worried about this part of the dark going down. I'm not worried about the dark that's in the nostril from this side over to the center of the nose. So let me make sure I'm in the right selection, which is going to be this selection right there. And now I want to turn this on right here, and I'm going to do this path right there. So it's actually from the nose going out, so I have to see where I put that one. It's not that one, it is this one. So there is that selection, which I should move up with the pen tool just a little bit. So let's grab this and put it right up here. In fact, I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to deselect the selection that I had there. Now that's really accurate on this side, and I'm really accurate on this side. So I want to paint on the outside of the selection. So I'm going to go make sure nothing is on nose area number 4. Nope. So I'm ready to paint on it. Let me make a selection of that. Let us already feather that by maybe 4 pixels. Let's hit Command, let's inverse it so I'm painting on the outside of it, okay? Shift Command I, and let's hide it, Command H. Now let's go up and get that color. So let's hit the B key and grab that color right there. Let's now turn this on, and let's get very close, and let's paint that with a smaller brush. Remember, the selection is active right there. So I want to come in like this, and I want to paint that just like this here, and then I want to come over on this side and grab that color, which is a little bit more red-black, and let's come in like this and paint it a little stronger here. Now, do you notice how part of my brush is over the selection? Do you see how I'm painting with half the brush over the selection? I'd never paint it like this because the most intense part of the brush comes from the center of the brush. So I want half of it not to even affect it. So that's how you work along an edge. But I need to deselect the selection, turn it away, and now we can see that I'm starting to grab the part of that nose that's working. Now let's move back, and let me come around like this. I'm going to see the nose on top. Let me move the color palette over. I'm going to see the nose on top, and now I'm going to come around the edge of the nose like this, and you see how I'm starting to bring off that nostril, just like this. Now I'm going to make the brush slightly bigger, and I'm going to give it just, I may even turn the amount of tone down. So I'm now going to come up like this, and let's now turn on the clicky copy, and you can see how I'm starting to approach that. I want this guy out of the way, but I really want to see what I'm doing. So I actually need to deselect it, but since I've already added the selection, meaning I've already added the selection, let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to hit Command H. The selection is on the inversed side, and it already has a feather built into it. I don't feel like doing it again, so I'm going to go to Select and save selection as outside nose. Now I can quickly deselect it, hit the V key, right-hand click, move this up and get it out of the way, but at least I can still see it. So now you can see how I can see everything that has to do with that part of the nose. Now all I have to do is go in Channels, and there's my selection. See it down there? Make a selection of it, hit Command H, I'm back to painting. So isn't that cool? So I'm going to take the B key, and I'm going to start painting this darkness around the edge of the nose. So let's turn this on, and now I'm going to make the brush bigger, and I'm going to just now come and click it just ever so gentle here. Ever so gentle. I'm going to hit Command H to see what I'm talking about. That's good. That's really good. Now let's turn this off, and now you can see how I'm starting to lay in that really nice dark right along the edge of that nose. Now let's go do the other side, but the other side gets a different color, as I said. So let's zoom in. Let's go grab this color. Now you see how it goes. I have to tell you, this is a dark which goes up to a light, but it reverses. The dark is on the inside of the nostril and then becomes the light, in the matter of speaking. So I'm going to grab this darkness and do a couple of things here, okay? And I may need 2 layers. So I'm going to move it around the edge of the nostril. So you see how I did that? See how I'm gently moving it around the edge of the nostril. So you can see how I'm hardly have it all on screen that you can see it. But I like the effect of what's happening. It feels good, okay? Now obviously, this value over here isn't even supposed to be there. So maybe it's time to actually take that value and soften it on the layer mask, okay? There's 2 ways I can do it. Before I continue on with the dark of the nose, let me hit Command D to deselect. Let me hit the V key and figure out what layer that is on. It's on nose area 3. If I turn it off, you can see that indeed it's on nose area 3. I click over to here. You see how quick that was? Hit the B key, move this down like this, and let's soften that edge so it just melts into the face. All right, so now I've got that working beautifully. Let me get a little bit more. Now I need to bring up this darkness even more. Okay, now that darkness, I don't want to affect the nose. I actually want to paint in the cheek area. So I'm going to go to nose area 4 because I'm now going to add a couple more things. But I want to grab this color. See where I'm clicking? And I want to influence this whole side of the face right here. So the brush gets bigger. I'm going to go back and click on that selection. Remember, it's painting on the outside of that selection. And it's already feathered. Here, I want to show you something. You can click on that and see what I'm talking about. It's already slightly feathered. Okay, that's a nice little 4 or 5 pixel feather around here. I'm going to click back up to the RGB image, and then we're going to continue to paint. So I'm going to go back down to that selection, make it a selection, hit Command H, and I'm ready to go. And I'm painting on a blank layer. So if I grab that color, do you see how I can actually now influence that color on the side of that face? Look at how beautiful that is. Now let's go grab this color on the side of the nose right here. Oops, I need to zoom in, and I'm going to do it again. Let me hit Command H to show you the selection. Now I'm going to grab that color right there. I'm going to click on the clicky copy. I'm going to make the brush smaller, and I'm going to paint it. Now obviously I can reduce the dramaticness, if that's a good way to say it, on a what? I can kill it, reduce it on a layer mask. Now I'm gently painting. I was just really gently painting. And that much paint went on the palette. Again, I don't care. I can reduce it. Now, let me make it bigger and grab this color over here and soften it with that color right here. And then bring this color right down on top of it. Now, that's 3 colors. I broke my own rule. That's 3 colors on the same layer. But how long did that layer really physically take me? It did not take me very long, did it? So let me grab this color and let's influence that color right in here. Needs to go a little darker, I think. So let's go here and let's now click there. There we go. That is the color that's needed. And now I'm gently painting. Let me make the brush bigger so I influence a wider range of paint. And then I'm going to hit Command S on the file. Now, a few minutes ago, you wouldn't have thought that nose was totally working. It is totally working. Now, what I want to do is do the subtle subtles, okay, which means that beautiful nostril area. I don't know if I'm ready for it, so I may actually do my nose area from here to here before I lay in the nostrils. And I may try to freehand it. So, with the selection active. So let me click on nose area 5 and let me put a little thing in here. I'm going to say underscore in nose. So I know that I'm finally in the nose area. So let's make a selection of the nose, not that one, but that one. Let's automatically add a 2 or 3 pixel feather to it. I'll say 3. Now let's hide it. Now I can't hurt anything, okay? Now let's go close in here. I have to move this down, so gosh almighty, I need to deselect the selection again. I do it all the time. You will too. I want to move this down. Whoops. Okay, I found where I made a mistake. Gosh, you're going to do this all the time. And you probably already saw that I did it. I was actually selected on layer 17 when I added that dark right there. Well, I don't want to lose that dark. So how do I fix this? What is the quickest way to fix this? Okay, I delayed there for a minute because I wanted you to think. And what I'm delaying is I want to keep this, so I'm going to duplicate that nose layer. On one of them, I'm going to remove this upper stuff. So I hit the M key for marquee, and I remove this from that layer. Boom. Now, I should have turned this off so you can see that I actually did indeed. That should have been gone from that layer. Just a minute. I click on that layer, and I hit the delete key. Okay, that's not getting... Oh. The reason it didn't delete is because I was stuck in a box. Somewhere there was an edit box that I was stuck in, and I don't remember what it was. Okay, that's why it didn't delete out of that layer. And then Photoshop told me I was being silly. So I'm clicking on the layer again, I hit the delete key, and it's gone. So I've now removed that from that layer, but I didn't remove the bottom dark around the nostril, if you see what I'm clicking on and off. So I deselect, move it back down where I have it. I'll just put it underneath here, and instead of calling this nose area 5, I'm going to call it nose area 6. And instead of calling this nose area 4, I'm going to use nose area 4 and call this, boom, nose area 5. So in essence, it took me a couple of seconds to fix my boo-boo. Okay, now I have that there. Now what do I have to do? I have to click on the one that I eliminated, click this, take the M key and marquee the area where I put paint on that canvas right here, see it? And now click and hit the delete key, and now I've got it gone from there. So I duplicated the layer and eliminated what I needed from each layer, and there you go, and I'm saving the file. And I'm going to purge in 2 seconds. So edit, purge, all. I want to do every single step that has this face that I'm doing on this face. I want to do it so that you see what I have to go through, or what you will have to go through, or what is going to, you know, all I want you to see every step, including the mistakes, because I don't consider the mistakes. Sometimes I'm working so fast I forget what layer I'm on. Hey, it happens to the best of us. Okay, so back to where I was. I'm going to go in the in nose layer. Let's click to the in nose selection. Let's add the Shift F6 again, which I don't really want to save a selection. I should tell you before I go any further, because I could forget, the channels palette only allows you to save up to 35 extra selections, and then you have to start getting rid of some of the ones you've already used. Now I'll probably repeat myself there, which is a good thing, but I'll say it again. You can only store 35 extra selections. So let me hit Command S to save the file, and we'll continue on. So now I'm going to paint with the clicky copy on. I'm going to do my own painting in there because it looks more like freehand painting than not. And if I go up too high with it, in fact, I'd rather go up too high with it, right? I'm going to hit Command H, which only turns that off. I'm going to go up too high because a layer mask can help me refine the color. So watch this. I'm going to grab that tone right here, and I'm going to swing it around the outside of the nose like this. Then I'm going to swing it like this and come up like that. Now I'm going to make the brush slightly bigger, and I'm going to come around the nose like this. Let me hit this side of the nose and come around the nostril like this, a little bit higher here. Now I'm going to come, actually, watch this, a little bit like this. So I'm going to come straight down here with that color. Let me make this bigger. Come around the nose like this, a little bit higher like that. Now let me get slightly darker with it. Yes, I'm putting two colors on one layer because this has only taken me about 3 minutes to do the whole thing. If I had to start over on this, I wouldn't be all upset, okay? So I'm clicking. I just double checked I was on the right layer. Now I'm going to get a smaller brush. I'm going to grab this tone, and you will get really good. Let me see where my selection is active. Okay, you will get really good at knowing and feeling how much tone is going on that layer. So there is what I've done. Now there's a couple of things to fix, so I'm going to deselect the selection for now. Actually, I'm going to save the selection for now. Let me just call this nose inside, so I just know it's the same thing as the layer. And let me deselect it. Now I'm going to grab this tone right by it. See what I'm doing here? And I'm going to just fill that in and make sure that that is all clean. Look at how pretty that is now. Okay, it wasn't clean a second ago. I'm not trying to get the darks of the nostrils. I promise, I'm not. I'm just trying to lay in the right value underneath there, and then I can fix things. So let me just grab that value right here and just kind of continue it down like this. Okay, now let me turn this on here with no selection active, because I can always kill it on a layer mask. I know I've said it 12 million times, but it's the truth. So now let's go like this, and let's round it off. Let's turn on this little guy right there. I wish that that were slightly closer to me now, so I'm going to deselect. I don't think I had anything selected. And let's right-hand click and move this down. Now I'm going to duplicate that layer. So I've now got two of those little ones. I'm turning one off because I want to take the M key and get rid of the rest of this because I'm only working on the nose now. Okay, so let me deselect, hit the V key, move this even down further so I can zoom in and we can make that nose be what it needs to be. Now let me click back to my nose fill area and let's continue on. So I wanna bring this part up the side of the nose. So let's go to this. Let's hit the B key, meaning to the clicky copy. I'm turning it on. I'm grabbing that color and I'm going to move down this side just at 8% on the flow. How much destruction am I causing? Okay. Now you see how soft this is? I'm going to get close here and I'm going to grab this tone and I'm going to come in just like it is, and I'm painting so slowly. Whether you're doing this with a Wacom tablet or a mouse is not the issue. Both are fine tools to use in this case. When I start to do freeform, I'm going to have to use a Wacom tablet. A mouse will not do it. Okay, I hope you heard that I said that. A mouse will not do this. So I like both. I have friends of mine who only use a Wacom tablet, And that's fine. I'm just not totally used to that, and I don't like it for some things, like drawing. Okay, I can do it better with a mouse, but I could never paint the free form of the face or the hair with a mouse. That would be ridiculous. So let me turn this off, and now look at how clean that's getting to be. Now, am I mad that I actually went up too high with this? Absolutely not. So I need to actually soften some things. Now you have two choices to soften this. You can get rid of what I'm pointing to right here on a layer mask, or you could use a higher layer to band-aid it, or what I call fix it. So this could be the fix nose layer. Pretty much everything you're going to do is going to have one fix it layer. So I'm going to grab this tone right there. See it? Right there. I'm going to turn on the clicky copy. I'm going to make the brush bigger. I'm going to paint right over all that stuff right there. Now I'm going to turn it off, and you can see how I'm starting to actually fix all my boo-boos. So let me go back. Let's go back to this tone here. Don't look at the freckles, please. Look at what's underneath the freckles. Let's grab this tone here, and let's now make it pretty. Let's come right down to it. Let's have it come up. Okay, I'm now replacing all that tone. Let's grab that tone right on top. And now I want to get slightly darker with it as it moves here. So let's turn this on. I actually want to bring back this light tone a little bit more. So I'm going to round off the light tone a little bit more right there. Look at how nice I'm doing right there. Let's round that off a little bit more. Perfect. That's perfect. Now let's grab this tone here, and let's just paint a little bit on top just to melt that together. Okay, that looks good. Let's grab this and work it around the nose like this. Okay, and then over to this side, let's grab this tone, and let's now come in here, a little bit darker tone, because I can always remove it on a layer mask. That is so pretty. Now let's come over here, smaller brush, let's work this around like that. And now I'm starting to get that to look really nice and really clean, and it's exactly her nose. Now obviously I got to get darker with it. So go to one more layer higher, and let's now push the darks. So I'm going to say push nose darks. Save the file, which is very smart of me. And now I probably should use this selection and then not worry about a hard line that forms here, because this is going to protect a lot of the things of that nose. Let me see how accurate I am on that path. So I probably should have dropped, I probably should have dropped that path down from here to down to, I actually should have dropped it down to right about there, but I'm going to Command Z that back because I don't think that totally matters. I actually think I'm just not going to use a path. Okay, so I'm going to, on that brand new layer, I'm going to lay it in there pretty dark. Okay, and then I'm going to paint it out. Maybe this is time that I need to actually draw that out, lay it in as hard as I want. So I'm actually going to do exactly what I say I'm going to do all the time, which is to lay it in and then just come way around like this with it. See that? And then come back like this. So now I've got that. Let me move that a little bit. Whoops. I only wanted to grab that one point. Let me take it. No, I had that in the right place. So I'm going to just take this as just saying nose outside on the left. It's really her right, but that's okay. Now I'm going to Command click it, and I'm going to give it a 3-pixeled feather, and I am going to hit Command H, and now I'm going to blast it in there because I really want to make this definitive, and I want to let the layer mask do the issue. So I grab the dark right there. Okay, that's a good dark. Now let me turn this off. Let me hit Command Option Delete, and now let's deselect it. I think it's a perfect dark, but it needs just a little bit more Gaussian blur for above it. So let's click it, going to have to do a couple of things, so don't panic here. Let's go to filter and do our Gaussian blur to about here. Right, let me move this over. Right about here. I like that. Now, let's come back and tighten up this area. So it needs a layer mask. I'm not going to try to fix the, I'm gonna fix that area right there. So I'm going to inverse the selection. So I'm painting on the outside. I'm not painting in here, I'm painting out here. But I want to come back and I want to make this about a 4 pixel feather right there. So let's go Shift F6, a 4 pixel feather. Let's hit Command H. And now with black on the layer mask, let's fix this area. Now let me make sure I'm on the exact area, which is right between here and here. So I'm painting black on the layer mask right now, and now I have actually tightened up that area. Now that's perfect. Okay, now I gotta get rid of almost everything I've done. So I deselect, make my brush bigger, just paint all that out right here, paint all that out. Try to get as close to that edge without destroying what I've done right there. And now let's come down to the bottom. I don't need anything there. Let's make the brush slightly smaller, and now let's just bring it in like this. So of that whole thing, I really think I did a pretty decent job of utilizing the theory, which was to lay in this value to get it the way I wanted. Okay, I have to get rid of the top stuff. Let me turn this off now. I have to get rid of this top stuff right here. So that's going to go away. Let me turn this layer off and on and see what else I have going on here. No, that's good. That's good. This can go away. Let me make sure Command H is not on. I've now deselected. Okay, and now let's get rid of a little bit more. And let's now turn the clicky copy on and see that I've done a fairly decent job. And I now need to come up that side of the nose with the dark. So, one more layer. I don't know why I'm clipping them, but it just feels right. Now, let's freehand that color going up the side of the nose. So, again, I'm going to just blast it in there and then use a layer mask to kill it right in this area right there. So let's pick the right color. Let's put it in here farther than we need. Good, that's really good. Now, let me see what I've done over here. A little bit more down here, so bigger brush, and let's now do it into the cheek. Oh, that's really sweet, really sweet. Now, let's come up like this. Could come up a little higher into the eye area, so let's start that process. So let me grab this color right here, and let's now come up into the eye area. And then make the brush bigger and come down that part of the nose. I might as well just even start to lay in that value right there. Now let's see what I've done. Good. Now let's deselect, add our layer mask. Let's turn this off and on, and let's kill what we don't, whoops, sorry. Okay, I needed that, okay. Click to the layer mask, Mr. Sorio. My finger hit something because I wasn't looking at the keyboard. It still is hitting something. So I didn't hit the Q key, did I? I'm on the layer mask. I'm not in something. Let me click away. Let me deselect. I shouldn't be painting in that. Okay, now I did good. There we go. Now, let's click. Let's turn this off. And let's kill that a little bit here. I'm over top of it. I'm kind of killing what I've already done to the point where that is going to look good. Now let's turn on the clicky copy and let's see that what we have is pretty darn nice. I should now take this, which is that side of the nose, and look at that really doesn't want to be there. So I'm going to use the clicky copy to direct me on how much to take off right there. And now I'm taking it off in a good manner. And there it is. It's gone. And now that looks good. And now that nose is really coming off her face in a good way. Command S to save the file. And there we go. I'm starting that really good process. Now let's get the nostrils to work. So let's go in. What was that layer? That was extra dark. Let me go extra nose dark. Save the file. 2 more layers. Clip. just because I'm so cute. And let's do nostril 1. Gosh, I hope I spelled that right. I don't know. It looks wrong, but I think it's right. Okay, nostril, N-O-S-T-R-I-L. I think it's not, yeah, that's correct. I probably should go Google it to make sure. You know how some things look really, really wrong, but they're really, really right? So you're probably saying, no, Brian, that's not how to spell nostril. I'm very embarrassed. I'm actually going to go type in, yes, you're thinking, what is he doing? He's typing into a Google nose nostril. Yes, I have it right. It just looked totally wrong. I'm sorry. It just looked totally wrong. Whatever. So now let me come into this, find the right selection, which isn't that one. It isn't that one. It is that one. Now I can start to do my nostrils, which I know it's going to need a Shift F6 and about a 2-pixeled feather, maybe even a 3-pixeled feather. And let me zoom in, and let's grab this dark. I'm going to make it less brown. I'm going to come into here and just give it a little bit more of that dark in the black area there. Now I'm going to hit Command H, and I'm going to make the brush nice and small, and I'm going to just paint. And I'm going to make it bigger than I need because I can remove it with a layer mask. Let me hit Command H to make sure I'm doing good. Yes, I am. Let's come over here. Let's just sweep it down a little bit like this. And let's come over here and grab this more red brown. And let's first, I'm going to grab the color over here first. Bigger brush. Now let me come into the brown, or the darker with a little bit of black brown in it, and let's see what I've got. So okay. You're thinking, Brian, you didn't inverse the selection. And you know what? Oh my gosh, you're right. So I'm going to show you the selection, and I'm going to say that I'm Mr. Stupid right there, and I'm going to show you the selection. I just didn't inverse it. Okay, so how do you fix that really quick? Well, I'm going to deselect the selection, hit Command A to select all, and Mr. Silly is going to hit the delete key and delete that off of that layer. Okay, so I make a selection, I inverse it, I can fix my mistakes, and I hit Shift F6, and I'm on 3-pixeled feather, and I certainly don't want to do that again, so let me go into here, save selection as nostrils. Okay, so now you know it's in channels way down there. See it, see it, see it, see it. So let me hit Command H. Let's go grab it again and do this. Since we loved doing nostrils, we will now do them again. So let's come over with this color. As I said, let's paint longer than necessary, or not wider. I'm not going to go down here too much, but I'm going to go longer than I need to the left and right, and then I'll reduce it or kill it or make it smaller. You know already what I'm going to say on a layer mask. Now let me come over here and grab this brownier color, this more brown black, come across here. Now let's see how we're doing. And I've got that just beautiful. I'm going to come on top of that with a little bit of black, but first I want to actually, let me see what my selection looks like again. So I need Command H. Okay, the reason I wanted to see it is because you see how it melts right into, I'm going to show you my selection line. See my selection line? I want that to be gone in a few minutes. So, and I want to manually put it going this way. Now I may do that on a second layer. Okay, so with the selection active, you can see that I'm actually, with me painting on the outside, I'm actually putting it in where I want, and I'm doing a good job in doing that. Now I'm going to use nostril 2 to click away from this. So I'm going to hit Command D to deselect. I need to get blacker with that. So I need to see my nose. That's going to be up here. The lower one, right? No, it's this one. And I need that nose to actually come farther down. Okay, so I'm going to deselect the selection, hit the V key, right hand click, move this way farther down so I have what it's supposed to look like. Now, I go back to here and I make a selection of the nostrils. So now I didn't have to redo all that inverse stuff. And I hit Command H, and now I can continue on. Okay, so I have to increase this dark right here, not a big deal. I have to increase this dark right here, not a big deal. But I have to come on nostril 2. I'm even going to make a nostril 3 layer, because I already know I'm probably going to need it. So I'm going to paste it in here, put in 3, and save my file. Now I'm going to go back to nostril 2. So I'm going to go get that color, but I'm going to go get black. So I'm going to go right down to black. Now I'm going to give it a whiff of black and then reduce it. So on a layer mask. So I need to get slightly darker. Let me make sure my selection is active. I'm going to get that black going right there, and then I'm going to get that black going right in here, and then I'm going to need to actually kind of vignette that area. So I need to go bigger with this, and I'm going to just lay this in here just to get a little bit more darkness underneath the nose. I'm going to have to increase this darkness here in a few minutes, but with no selection active. I'm Command D'ing the selection. There is no selection active. I need to actually now work it up the nostril. Okay, so I'm going to actually go back to this selection. That'll work for me. And I'm going to hit Shift F6, 3 pixels on the feather, Command H, and now I need to grab this color here and I need to make this smaller. And now look what I need to do. I need to just wrap this right around here and just have it come right up the edge of the nostril. So there is my negative, what I kind of refer to as my negative and positive shape. Now I obviously need to get darker on the outside. See how this is dark going in and then suddenly it gets lighter in here? Well, that's because I have to increase this darkness underneath. I think I have the right tone there already, so I'm even going to increase it, but I need to increase that darkness on the bottom. So now this needs to come over here, just like I'm doing, and it needs to just get a little bit darker with it. Right in here. Now I need to deselect, and I need to just bring this down just a little bit like this. I'm going to grab this tone right there, and I'm going to bring this tone right back up here. There, that's really pretty. And I'm going to grab this tone right there, and I'm going to bring it back up here. Okay, and then I'm going to come over top of it a little bit. And now I need to increase this darkness that's right there. That's right there and right there. Now it's a darkness on both sides. I have to fix this right here. So I need to get close. I need to grab this color that's right here and do a plus and minus. So if I can zoom in, watch what I do. I'm freehanding this. See how I'm going right on top like this? Okay, that's just got that beautifully. It only took a couple of whiffs just to freehand that, and it's beautiful. Now I want to do this color that's over here coming up a little bit higher on this part of the nostril. So I'm being really picky, trying to get really accurate for you. And I'm going to move up the nose like this. Let's come up like this a little bit. I really should move this up higher, but I'm okay. I'll come around the nose like this. Let's now get that color. Probably putting too much on this layer. Let me turn on the clicky copy and let's put that color. I'm clicking that color. Now I'm going to a darker version of that color. Now I'm going to put it right where it's supposed to go, right there. Now let's turn off the clicky copy, and you can see that I probably put in too much of that color. So let me Command Z that back. Okay, it was only 1 width, not 2. Okay, so let me just bring this a little bit more here onto the nose. Remember, I'm painting in a soft brush. Yes, this is what it takes. It takes just a little bit of care. Now let me go grab this color up here and let me soften that back. Okay, that's really pretty. Now let's take this color and come just down this part of the nose with it, and take this color and come up a little higher in the nose. Now I already have this pretty good, so I'm going to increase on the next layer. Let me go. Let me clip it, and let's go nostril number 4 and save the file. And now I want to increase this darkness till I know it's right. So I'm going to use a little bit of this brown black right here. I have it and it's good, and I'm probably going to soften this in a few minutes with a different color. So, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So I need to find that outer nose area, which is here, and I need to see how accurate that is, and it's very accurate. So I'm going to Command click it, inverse it, Shift F6 it for a feather, hit Command H, and now I want to bring in this dark, which I want to get it blacker than that and more neutral. And now I'm going to get definitive with it right underneath here. So I want to get that real nice as it's working right there. See how nice that is? Now let's come across like this. And now look at how I have my negative and my positive area working. You see how this is dark to light, but suddenly light against dark on the outside. So let me make this bigger and get just a little bit more dark with it as it works its way around the nostril. Let's get this really nice little working there. That's very pretty. Now let's come around. Let me see where my selection is. Okay, I don't want to look at, I don't, whoops, darn it, I hit the wrong key. I hit Command H. I don't want to paint right there. I can reduce it with a layer mask, but I don't want to paint right there. So I'm hitting Command H. Now, let me come into the clicky copy and see that I want to use this tone. Again, I'm going to go in here and make it a little bit more neutral dark and only use a couple of whiffs. So look, I want to bring it in here like this and then let it drop away to nothing. So I'm now going to let it drop away to nothing. Let me get close with it. Make it a little bit stronger right there. Very cool. Now let me get bigger with it and let me just have it come out a little bit like this. Okay, and now that is really clean. Now I think I should get a little bit more clean with it here, so I need to go back to the nose that is right there, make a selection of it, or use this one right there. Nope, it's this one right there. Now that one was the reversed. Remember this channel right down here, folks? That was the inversed of it, meaning I'm already painting on the outside. So with this dark, let me hit Command H and let me now increase that cleft line right there by going boom, boom, boom. Now it only took 3 little booms to get what I wanted, and I really should increase it as it moves its way down to the left and to the right side of, let me put this at 5 on the flow because 8 is too much. And I want to come down on this side, look at how nice I've done that, and come down on this side and look at how nice I've done that. And there it is. I've now come down on both sides. I've increased the cleft. Now, let me make sure where the selection is. Okay, I'm going to deselect the selection. Nothing is selected. I'm going to a higher layer and I'm going to call it my final fix on the nose. And it might not be my final fix, but at least at this stage, I think it's my final fix. I'll clip it there to it just so it's all clipped and everything's right. Now I want to use this tone. Look what I'm clicking on. I'm clicking on the lighter tone, and I want to kill a little bit of this upper dark, okay, on the nostril. So I'm going to come through here and I'm going to click it and I'm going to just let it just melt itself in. Now, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I just want to kill that tone just a little bit. Now, if I turn off this and I back off and I show you what the nose looks like, I'm close on the nose with a little bit more of some working stuff that I need. That nose is really coming off that face beautifully. Wait till the freckles get on there and wait till everything else gets on there that I need. I'm looking at the mouth right now. I'm looking at the mouth area. I'm looking as it works up into the eyes. I still didn't get to the eye dark, but that's going to be on the next movie. So please go to the next movie.